I didn't even want the house. It came to me out of nowhere, dropped into my lap like some cursed lottery ticket. My Uncle Raymond, who I barely remembered, except for the smell of pipe smoke and the way he always stared a little too long, died alone in that place. No funeral, no will reading, just a lawyer's call telling me I was next of kin, and now I owned a crumbling house on the edge of nowhere. At the time, I was 2 months behind on rent, living off vending machine coffee and dollar store ramen. I thought maybe it was a chance. Sell the place, clear my debts, maybe even start fresh. I convinced myself it was a blessing, but it wasn't. The place was already rotting from the inside when I pulled into the overgrown driveway. Vines crawled through the broken windows. The porch groaned under my weight, as if warning me to turn around. I didn't listen. The first few nights were quiet, in that eerie, too quiet kind of way. No birds, no crickets, just the occasional creak of wood shifting in the dark and the smell of mildew soaked into the walls. I slept on the floor with a space heater and a knife under my pillow. It wasn't until the fourth night that I started noticing the basement. The door was in the kitchen, tucked behind the pantry like it didn't want to be found. I hadn't even opened it until I needed to check the breaker. The first time I went down there, I felt it, that weight in the air, like walking into a room where something terrible had just happened. The light down there flickered no matter how many times I replaced the bulb. And sometimes, just on the edge of hearing, there was a sound. Soft, rhythmic, breathing, maybe, or whispering. Every time I turned to listen, it stopped. I tried to ignore it. I needed the house. I needed the money. Then, the floor caved in. It happened while I was hauling a box of junk in the attic. Old books, most of them handwritten and filled with strange symbols I didn't recognize. The second my foot hit the middle of the basement floor, the wood gave way. I crashed through and hit stone, hard. When I stood up, I saw the staircase. It wasn't part of the foundation. It couldn't be. The stone was black, slick, and curved in a perfect spiral down into the earth. The air rolling out from below was hot and heavy, carrying a scent I couldn't place at first. Burnt meat mixed with copper. I stood there, staring down into that spiral, telling myself not to go any further. But I did. Each step felt softer than stone should. Warm, damp. The flashlight flickered, but never fully went out. The deeper I went, the more the air pressed in around me, like something was exhaling just below the surface of the earth. Then I saw the door. It stood at the bottom of the stairwell, built into a wall of jagged red stone. I thought it was carved wood at first, twisted and warped, but when I touched it, it burned cold. The surface was covered in carvings, not words, not art, just shapes, faces maybe. Wailing mouths and hollow eyes, all half-formed, like something had tried to remember what a person looked like and failed. Above the door, etched deep into the stone archway, were the words, "Abandon all hope, ye who enter here." I laughed, even as my hand shook. It was too on the nose. It had to be a joke. My uncle, some crazy old shut-in, carving Dante quotes into the foundation like a warning for whoever came next. I should have turned around right then, climbed back up and boarded the place shut. But I didn't. The door opened when I touched it, slow, smooth, and utterly silent. The heat hit me like a wall. The smell was worse now. No longer just meat and metal, but something older, decay and fire, like a battlefield long after the dying was done. The hallway beyond the door was lined with the same black stone, pulsing faintly beneath the surface. It wasn't light. It was something else, like heat rising off flesh. And beneath it all, there was a sound just beneath the threshold of hearing. A hum, steady and low, that vibrated in my chest. I should have left, but something was calling me forward. Not with words, not even with thoughts. Just a pressure in my head, and a taste like ash on my tongue. So, I stepped inside, and the door closed behind me. The door seals with a soft click, and I know there's no handle on the other side. The air here is heavier than above. It clings to my skin like wet wool, thick with heat and something else I can't name. The stone beneath my feet pulses faintly, just enough to make me question if it's real. There's no smell anymore, at least not one my brain knows what to do with. It's like walking through scorched earth and blood, but worse, deeper. The hallway stretched ahead, too long, too straight. My flashlight barely touches the walls, and everything outside its beam looks like it's breathing. Not visibly, not obviously, but I still feel it. It's warm, alive, watching. I keep walking. I don't know how long, minutes, hours. Time doesn't behave down here. My phone says it's 2:17 a.m. every time I check it, but the battery keeps dropping. 78%, 64, then 39. The light from the screen makes the stone look slick, like something inside the walls is shifting. Eventually, the hallway widens into a chamber. It's circular, like a cathedral buried in the earth. The walls are lined with alcoves, tiny hollowed-out spaces, each with a figure standing inside. Statues, I think at first. But no, and they're too specific. A man in a suit, his mouth stretched into a silent scream. A little girl with a broken doll and gouged-out eyes. A woman in a nightgown holding onto something that looks like a spine. All of them facing forward. All of them unmoving. I pass one that looks like my old neighbor, Mr. Kessler. Same crooked nose, same mole on the cheek. I blink and look again, and it's someone else. I keep walking. The chamber ends in another doorway, smaller, carved with the same chaotic writhing lines as the first. I reached for the handle, hesitate, then turn it. It opens into something that looks like home. Not my home, but a home. The walls are drywall now, chipped and yellowed. There's a ceiling fan spinning slowly overhead. A hallway with family photos, each one just blurry enough to be wrong. Smiles that are too wide. Eyes that don't reflect light. I step inside. The door vanishes behind me. No sound, no flash, just gone. Now it's just the walls and carpet and silence. The kind of silence that comes after screaming. Something about this place is worse than the hallway, worse than the heat. It's familiar, but not mine. A TV is on the next room, static hissing. I edge closer and see a living room, sagging couch, flickering light from the screen. There's someone sitting on the floor, their back to me. They're watching. The static shifts just slightly, and I hear my name, whispered, like it's coming from inside the TV. I don't move. The figure on the floor, its head jerks, just a little, like it's trying to listen harder. Then it starts to turn. I run, through the hallway, down another corridor that wasn't there before. The walls stretch and pulse, doors open and shut without sound. Somewhere in the distance, I hear footsteps, but they don't echo right. They're not coming from one direction. They're coming from everywhere. I don't know how long I run. Eventually, I collapse in another chamber. This one is smaller, darker, quieter. The walls here are smoother, and at the center of the room is a well. Just a round hole in the stone with no rope, no pulley. The heat coming from it's unbearable, and rising out of it, just faintly, is a voice. Low, croaking, not speaking a language I know, but I understand it anyway. It tells me I've been expected. It tells me I was chosen. It tells me my uncle didn't die. He was taken, and now the house is mine because the gate is mine. This isn't a basement. It's a mouth, and I'm already halfway down the throat. I don't remember falling asleep. One moment I'm staring into the well, the next I'm waking up on cold stone with my mouth dry and my thoughts scattered like broken glass. The voice is gone, but its words won't leave my skull. You were chosen. There's blood on my hands. I don't know whose. The well is still there, still breathing, but the air has changed. It's colder now, heavier. The heat's still down there, but something else is rising with it. Something worse than fire. I stand, legs shaking. The chamber's different than before. There's a new doorway, arched, jagged, crooked, like it was torn into the wall instead of carved. I don't want to go through it. Every part of my body says no, but something else moves me. I step through. The corridor beyond is shifting. I blink, and the walls change color, texture. 1 second it's stone, the next peeling wallpaper, familiar wallpaper. My childhood bedroom, the green kind with the little rocket ships. I haven't seen it in 20 years. A shape moves at the far end of the hall, small, limping. I know that walk. It's my dog, Shadow, a black lab we had when I was 9. He died after getting hit by a truck. I remember holding him while he bled out in the street. But here he is, tail wagging slowly, mouth open in a panting grin. His eyes are human. I back away. He follows. With each step he takes, his form twitches, like a glitch in an old video game. Fur flickering, limbs bending the wrong way for a moment. He opens his mouth, and in my mom's voice, he says, "Come back upstairs. It's all better now." I run. The hallway stretches, groans, splits apart. Now it's the basement again. But wrong. The gate is behind me, gaping open. The faces in the stone have turned to look at me. I can hear everything now. Screaming, crying, laughter that doesn't stop. And beneath it, louder than all of it, a slow, steady heartbeat coming from the ground. It's not just a sound. It's pressure. It's rhythm. The world is pulsing with it. The floor beneath me splits open again, and I fall. I hit the ground hard, but not stone, carpet. When I lift my head, I'm in the living room, my living room. The one in my apartment I haven't seen since I left for the house. Same furniture, same crappy coffee table with the warped corner, same framed photo of me and my sister from a trip we barely survived. It's wrong, though. Too quiet, too clean. And then I see myself standing in the hallway. Not a reflection. Me. He's smiling, but it's not a real smile. It's too wide. His teeth are all the same. He says nothing, just lifts a hand and points back at the basement door. I blink, and I'm there again, standing in the real basement, the one in the house. But the gate is open, fully open now, and something is crawling out of it. It doesn't move like a person, doesn't sound like anything I've ever heard. The air twists around it, the light bends. My eyes won't focus on its shape. It's like trying to look directly at a nightmare. But I know it. It knows me. It's not just coming for me. It's part of me. I try to run. My legs don't move. The thing reaches forward. Its hand, if you could call it that, touches my chest. No pain. Just cold. Deep. Ancient cold. It speaks without speaking. You are the key. The basement trembles. The house shakes. The gate pulses with heat and light and howling. And I understand. This isn't a doorway. It's a throat. It opened for my uncle. It opened for me. Every generation, a bloodline offering. A keeper of the seal. Someone to live above the gate and make sure it never opens all the way. But I opened it. I fed it. And now, I have to take his place. The last thing I remember before blacking out is falling forward, into the light, into the fire, into whatever lives below. When I wake up, I'm on the basement floor, back in the real world, or something close to it. The hole is gone. No stairs, no heat, just dirt and cracked concrete. The books are gone too. The house is quiet, but I can still feel it beneath me, waiting. And now, so can you, because I told you. And the gate listens when its name is spoken.